This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A local Muslim organization says shots were fired and windows shattered at a Winnipeg mosque, all while people were inside. It's left many there shaken, and the incident is now the focus of a hate crime investigation by police. CBC's Mike Arsenault is at the Rama Islamic Center this hour. And Mike, what do we know so far?
Brittany, there's still a lot of questions about what happened last night. But as you can see behind me, there is broken glass and what appears to be tiny holes in the windows of the mosque. In a statement, the mosque says 2 people were caught on camera attacking the building with some kind of object while community members were inside. They say bullet holes were also discovered in the windows. The National Council of Canadian Muslims helped organize the rally. They say reports of Islamophobia seem to be ramping up across the country.
For the past at least 5-6 weeks, I'd say, it's almost pretty much been every day. So we need a national strategy to kind of tackle this problem, which has a national scope.
So, Mike, we do know that police are investigating. What have they said so far about this investigation?
Well, police confirmed they did receive reports of damage to the property around 11:30 p.m. last night, estimated to be more than $3,000. Now, police couldn't confirm that gunshots were fired during the attack, but say the hate crime unit's hate crime coordinators are investigating. Stephen Joe talked about the importance of standing up against Islamophobia.
It's common sense that when people gather together and do a show of force against hate, we send a message that this is a problem, and we absolutely have the power to do something about it. And for people to gather and send that message is necessary. It also will be very powerful.
The Manitoba Islamic Association is grateful no one was hurt during the attack. It says all places of worship should be safe places where people can gather in peace without fear of violence or hatred. Brittany?
Thank you so much. That's CBC's Mike Arsenault. Well, fierce winds whipped through southern Manitoba last night. The sky lit up with lightning strikes and heavy rain, leaving a wake of damage. In the city, many could feel their homes shake and hear the cracking of trees. Well, it was quite a show by Mother Nature. Today, the focus turns to cleaning up. CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco reports.
I think had more of a possibility of falling. There would have been a lot more damage.
The tree that shaded Ron LeClair's backyard for a decade snapped. The trunk smashing through his fence, branches downing his power line in a fierce downpour.
But I've never seen a storm like this. I've never seen wind that powerful coming through here. I felt like it was a tornado. It was so powerful.
Southern Manitoba was hit with nearly 3,000 lightning strikes. Winds gusted up to 90 kilometers an hour in Winnipeg. The gales Wednesday night strong enough to flip this press box used during football matches. Repairs for it at Maple Grove Park could take months.
It's an important part of our operation, and we've lost a big piece of our property.
Outside of Winnipeg, some say the storm felt like an earthquake. Trees toppled near Lorette and south of Souris near Sian McKay's home.
They were some of the tallest, oldest trees on my property, so I'm really saddened to see them knocked down.
Crews worked to clear fallen trees through the day, closing this street in Meadowood, one of nearly 700 requests for service in the city. Lucien Gagnon took the job into his own hands, but the cleanup is not done yet.
There was big branches that had fallen, and I saw one was hanging on the power line, but I didn't think it was it had broken off the house until this morning.
He's still without power. Manitoba Hydro says close to 20,000 customers were without electricity by the afternoon. The Health Sciences Center had one of many power outages through the night and had to switch to a backup generator. Now, despite the long cleanup ahead, LeClair is staying positive.
I feel very fortunate that it didn't hit my house. I'm very glad that it went this way. I'm sad to lose the tree, but no one got hurt.
But in a summer of wild weather in southern Manitoba, he worries this might not be the last tree that falls. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
As you saw, Manitoba Hydro crews have their hands full fixing hundreds of outages after nearly 30,000 customers lost power last night. The utility says most affected people are in Winnipeg. The wind ripped down dozens of power lines, and some weakened trees continue to fall into lines today. In some areas, it's needed to bring in specialized equipment where lines are hard to access. Power has been restored to roughly 10,000 customers late this afternoon. And while Hydro has no estimate for when everyone will be back online, it says some people may be without power overnight. All right, Riley, and now Riley, being without power during a time like this can be really difficult for some people because it is so hot out.
Yeah, that's one component, and what helped drive some of these thunderstorms as the cold front associated with this pushed into the province last night. And what set this apart was just how widespread we saw. So we can follow this through the evening into the 8 o'clock hour into Brandon, where we had wind gusts of 133 kilometers an hour, Souris wind gusts of 113 kilometers an hour through the evening last night. That led to tree damage in parts of southwestern Manitoba through the evening last night, and we can follow this line of thunderstorms eastward into the Red River Valley by 11 o'clock. This is impacting the southern part of the city and areas south of Winnipeg. 100 kilometer an hour winds in St. Adolphe, 102 in Starbuck, Portage, clocking a wind gust of 106 through the evening last night, and all of that pushing eastward through the night. We also saw, as you saw last night, those tornado warnings in place for parts of northern Manitoba, up to loony-sized hail reported in Thompson with that thunderstorm line that pushed through there last night. And we're still dealing with the impacts of some of this, Brittany, into northwestern Ontario. I'll go into details when I come back.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
It's been a grocery and goods staple for many in the downtown community for years. But in 3 months, it will be gone. Giant Tiger's downtown location is closing. It's a move that's bringing surprise and disappointment for many who rely on it. CBC's Alicia Wang has more.
This Giant Tiger will be closing its doors for the last time on November 7th. Weekly trips to the Canadian-owned discount store have become routine for many people in the area. And now, they say their options will be a bit more limited.
I was disappointed to hear that because it's pretty convenient for, I feel, a lot of people downtown with the lack of grocery stores around.
For many, the store is part of their daily lives.
If I feel like a chocolate bar midday, I'll just go down, or a bag of chips, go down. And once in a while, we'll buy fruit for people.
Locals highlighted the affordability of the store selection, which they say might be hard to find elsewhere.
You could get some good ribs there for $7. Cheap deals. I don't know what they're going to replace it with.
The chain has over 250 locations across the country. Some of those have closed in recent years, including 2 in Winnipeg in 2024. As for a possible replacement, Red River Co-op is set to open a new location at the redeveloped Portage Place in 2029.
I think the hard part right now is waiting for this downtown is going to be in 3 years. There are so many exciting things coming, but right now we are in a really challenging time.
When asked where they'll shop after the closure, uncertainty was a common thread.
Maybe Walmart, which is all the way over there. So I would have to bus or get my boyfriend to drive us.
Well, since I have a car, I have kind of the option to go to a Walmart or a Superstore or Sobeys or something like that. But definitely, I don't even know the nearest Giant Tiger would be after they shut down.
Though there may be other options, people who live and work around here say none are as close or as convenient as this one. Alicia Wang, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The second largest publicly traded company based in Manitoba plans to sell off its headquarters in downtown Winnipeg. But it's not abandoning this province. CBC's Bartlett Kivas reports.
IGM Financial, the parent company of IG Wealth Management and Mackenzie Asset Management, is selling off this 19-story office tower at Portage Avenue and Colony Street. The building's called One Canada Centre. It's been home to IGM since 1988. This morning, the company announced the tower is going on the market and the staff will move into leased office space at 360 Main Street. The CEO of the downtown Winnipeg Biz says this makes sense.
There's been also a lot of investment downtown in terms of between True North Square and Portage and Main in the big office towers. And so we're seeing some of the, I would say, more of the corporate services move into new spaces that are meeting their needs for moving ahead 2026 and beyond.
Kate Fensky says she doesn't believe the move signals more malaise along Portage Avenue. True North Real Estate says downtown Winnipeg is undergoing a renaissance, given its redevelopment of Portage Place and the transformation of the former Bay Building by the Southern Chiefs organization. However, city property records show the assessed value of One Canada Centre has dropped by 18% since the pandemic started.
IG Wealth Management plans to complete its transition from this building to Portage and Main by 2028. Bradley Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The PST has been removed from some foods, but what has it actually done to grocery prices? Well, we take a look after the break. New pamphlets from the NDP government are hitting mailboxes this week, featuring a smiling photo of the Premier and touting lower grocery prices for Manitobans. But once the numbers are crunched, Are the ads actually true? CBC's Ian Fraze takes a look.
A new report suggests your grocery bill keeps climbing despite what the Manitoba government says.
Ask Manitobans what they're actually seeing, and there's not one Manitoban that will say grocery prices are lower. My make of it is that the NDP are completely misleading Manitobans.
Nearly 300,000 households got this pamphlet in the mail. The NDP government's message: lower grocery prices. The mailer highlights the removal of the PST from certain foods starting on July 1st, like rotisserie chicken, prepared meals, chips, and pop.
I don't buy juice boxes or water and any of that stuff. So.
But Gail Wolfram hasn't noticed a difference.
It helps you not pay the tax on them, which obviously does help, but the actual prices are still going up way too much, and your stores are gouging. And I don't know what any government can do about that.
Experts at Dalhousie University say grocery prices are rising. While their monthly study doesn't look at the items now tax exempt, they say that for 50 grocery essentials, total prices in Winnipeg actually increased from June to July.
Chicken breasts are more expensive. Brown poultry meat is also slightly more expensive.
NDP Finance Minister Adrian Sala defended the pamphlet, saying the tax cut is working. He says shoppers are paying less for items than they otherwise would have. Sala adds the government has frozen the price of a 1-liter milk carton, and it's challenging the real estate deals that prevent competition. He says the government is looking at all options to cut grocery bills. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A woman is facing second-degree murder charges after a fatal stabbing in downtown Winnipeg. A 58-year-old woman, originally from Grand Rapids First Nation, was stabbed along Portage Avenue Tuesday afternoon. She was rushed to hospital in critical condition but didn't survive. Police say the suspect took off before they were able to find them. 23-year-old Shante Trinity Paul was arrested the next morning and charged. Despite a difficult spring, some Manitoba farmers are still optimistic about the season. Southeast of Winnipeg, rainy, wet conditions earlier this year have been replaced by heat and humidity. And as CBC's Jura McElray shows you, it means more farmers are looking for help from above.
It's been a challenging year for farmers like Vern Johnson, but he's still expecting a fair yield after a wet season and a little preventative care. While Johnson uses fungicide on his farm in the Arm of Springfield every year, it's been crucial to protecting his crops this year.
The humidity and the moisture and everything that breeds, disease, which is why we spray fungicide. Some fields, however, too, were actually just not sprayed because they were so bad. They were just too drowned out to warrant it.
Johnson estimates a loss of 20% of his 7,000 acres of crops. Frequent rain in the southeast is increasing the risk for disease. So farmers are applying fungicide to more of their crops to protect them, while some in other areas are relying on aerial applicators like crop dusters, while fields are too wet to access.
When the crops are looking good like this, our customers invest more into them. So we have been busier than we've been quite busy this year with our services.
Reg Friesen operates an aerial application company near Niverville. His planes fly in the Red River Valley and the Interlake. He says most places were able to rebound, but many fields around Stonewall were completely lost. Friesen says farmers will invest in crops that are looking promising.
It's prevention. It's like buying insurance. So we have to gauge the weather, the crop, and the risk of disease and decide on spraying.
Back on Johnson's farm, he's preparing to apply fungicide on his sunflowers, which are prone to fungal disease. He's still optimistic and says only time and getting the grain in the combine will show how good of a year it's been. Jura McElray, CBC News, the RM of Springfield.
And a warning from Winnipeg Police about river conditions. Recent rains in western Manitoba mean higher levels on the Assiniboine with fast-moving, unpredictable conditions. Just over a week ago, 3 paddlers overturned on the river and were swept downstream. Police say they ended up in 3 different locations, but members of the service's marine unit were nearby and safely rescued them. Police say if you're spending time on or near the water, be sure to have a life jacket or flotation device and never underestimate the strength of the current. Riley, back in now, and so many waterways in Manitoba. We know they can be treacherous, dangerous. Make sure you have that life jacket and just being extra careful because we have had a lot of rain.
And it's going to be a very busy weekend.
Of course, very busy long weekend.
Very warm and pretty pleasant long weekend ahead of a few events happening across the province. I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek if you're preparing to head out to any events this weekend. So we'll start in Gimli where the Icelandic Festival is happening. I'm not going to try pronouncing this on live television because that won't go well. I need to do a few takes of this first. But the Icelandic Festival looking at pretty pleasant temperatures. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. 28s for Friday, Saturday, 30 into Sunday are next chance for some precipitation in parts of southern Manitoba coming into Monday. Good chance we'll see some showers at least early in the day, 24 degrees. And we'll take you to Minnedosa quick where Rock in the Fields kicks off tomorrow. There is a very weak chance of a couple of scattered showers or a rumble of thunder. 29 degrees. I wouldn't let that. This icon kind of overdoes it a little bit, but nonetheless, mix of sun and clouds tomorrow and then a hot weekend ahead, 30s, 31s. Stay hydrated if you're heading out to any of those events or anything over the course of the long weekend that's coming up here. Looking at temperatures today, a bit more comfortable, still a little bit humid. We'll see the humidity decreasing as we get through the night tonight and into the day tomorrow. 29 in Winnipeg, 27s, 28s through Brandon, Dauphin, Thompson at 22, and we're still under the influence of that area of low pressure that brought the thunderstorm activity and the front that triggered the severe weather in parts of southern Manitoba last night. That's still making its way through northern Manitoba. Some of the residual of that still pushing through parts of Minnesota and northwestern Ontario. Rainy River, Fort Frances into some thunderstorms with a severe thunderstorm watch, and Dryden, Kenora into severe thunderstorm warnings earlier in the afternoon with some of these cells that push through. We still have a special weather statement in place for the Hudson Bay Coast, Shamattawa, because of the potential for funnel clouds with this area of low pressure that continues to spin off into northern Manitoba. That will work its way out as we get through the night tonight, and we start the day under a mainly sunny sky for most of us as we get through into the morning hours tomorrow. A bit of extra cloud cover. Barons River into Island Lake. Could be a few scattered showers out of some of this cloud cover first thing. Then we get into a mainly sunny sky for the afternoon. Again, maybe along the Hudson Bay Coast in particular, a few scattered showers, but that's really all I have to write home about really as we get through the next couple of days here as we get under the influence of high pressure, and that will set us up for a pretty decent weekend and a warm weekend with that. And you can see our next weather maker starting to make its way into parts of Saskatchewan as we get toward the back half of the weekend. Your temperatures as we get into Friday, pretty similar to today, although a little bit less humid once again. 29 for Winnipeg, 27s, 28s into western Manitoba, and looking at a pretty decent mix of sun and clouds into Thompson, Brittany, and 25 degrees. Your 7-day forecast just ahead.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
An Ontario man is pounding the pavement, all in support of a good cause. We'll have that story and more after the break. Stay with us. Despite the hot weather this summer, an Ontario man is running across the country. 22-year-old James Newman just arrived in Winnipeg, his latest stop on his cross-Canada trek from Newfoundland all the way to Victoria. Newman is doing it to raise money for scholarships for young people displaced in childhood. He himself lost his parents at a young age.
Super grateful for all those people who've been there to help me, to help raise me. And so I just wanted to give that back. I want to pay it forward, and I couldn't imagine what my life would be like without, going to university. And
he says the donations will be invested and become renewable scholarships.
Time for a look at your dog walking forecast, and we'll continue our theme tonight of dogs enjoying the outdoors. How about Willow Twig? Lois and Ginny, thank you for sending this picture in. Just to take a little bit of a nap in the sun there. Please keep sending yours to talkback@cbc.ca. 29 into the afternoon. A little less humid than it was today across much of the province. 27 by the evening, maybe a little bit breezy with that northwest wind at times. 29 into Saturday, 32 for Sunday, mainly sunny skies, maybe a bit windy into Sunday. And there's the likelihood we'll see a few showers, at least in the morning into Monday. I wouldn't write off the entire day at this point, but could be a bit wet to start. One weather picture for you tonight, this one coming from Carmen, the buck moon, our July full moon. Thanks, Bev, for sending this picture in. Talkback@cbc.ca is where you can send yours. The haze kind of giving it that reddish orange glow there as well. Well, thousands of rubber ducks took the plunge in a race for charity in London.
Their drift down the canal is your daily lift. Some spectators cheered on their favorite bright yellow toy from the sidelines as they bobbed toward the finish line on a popular city canal. Others joined in the fun by paddleboard or boat, helping guide the ducks along the 100-meter stretch. The annual fundraising event invites people to sponsor a duck. Proceeds benefit seriously ill children in hospital.
Love it. I know a lot of small towns here in Manitoba do smaller versions of this. They do the duck race to raise money for the fire departments and the halls, and it's always a lot of fun.
Waiting for someone to find some of those ducks.
I know.
Way, way down.
On the other side of the ocean.
A little while later. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.